Hello knitters, it's Christina here. It's October 25th and this is episode 10. Yay! How are all of you? I hope you're having a glorious autumn. We are here in the Midwest. I would say last week was probably the height of its glory. One of our trees in the backyard was so beautiful, and each day it would change and get darker in color. And it was like watching a work of art being formed the whole week. It was just wonderful. Now most of the leaves are gone, but anyways, it's still beautiful outside, and we have a sunny day today, which is super nice with a blue sky, but which is different from the last two times I podcasted. It was raining both times. But anyways, it's nice to be back with you guys. I wanted to thank a bunch of you. I can't thank you all. There are 90 new members in the podcast group on Ravelry, A Knitter's Life, and so I just wanted to say thank you so much. It is so kind of you guys to join the group and to just be a community. It's a lot of fun. And I wanted to thank 3 people in particular. 2 of you, Capsize, who is Lynn, and then Roving Acres on Ravelry, who is Beth, introduced themselves in the introduction thread. And thank you. It is so nice to get to know you guys a little bit more. I'm going to switch my position so that the sun comes in a little bit more. It's so nice to get to know everyone a little bit, and to introduce yourself is just such a kind thing to do. So thank you. And then Lolly Adele 22 on Ravelry, Lauren, she wrote me such a nice little note in Ravelry, and I just wanted to thank you. Lauren, you have your own podcast, so I need to check that out. So thank you so much for your kind note. It's just really awesome to have just to chat with you guys on Ravelry and to see you all chatting with one another too. It's great. It's a fun way of inspiring one another. So thanks. What have you guys been up to? We had fall break last week. John, who is in kindergarten, had just 1 week off. Everybody else here in Indiana had 2 weeks off. They are on a year-round calendar, so they get 2 weeks off for fall break, 2 weeks off for Christmas break, and then 2 weeks off for spring break, and then they have a shorter summer. But John is in a different school, and so he just had 1 week off. And my husband took off work, and so we had some fun things planned. One of the things that we wanted to do was go for a long hike in Shays, which is a national or a state park close by. But over the weekend, let's see, John had a field trip on Friday to Waterman's Pumpkin Patch, and it was cold and rainy, and just a very, very damp day. But we went. I took Arthur. I took him in the Snuggly, and he rode the hayride in the Snuggly and watched the kids, and he had so much fun. And then I noticed on Saturday, John just seemed really, really tired, and then on Sunday, he wasn't feeling well at all, and was complaining of a headache, and was running a slight temperature. So we rested, and we rested on Monday, and we went to the library, because that was the fun thing. They loved to go to the library. We did lots of puzzles, and we read books, and we played with the trains. And then Tuesday he was feeling even worse, which I thought, all this resting, I felt bad. It wasn't working. And Tuesday night he woke up in the middle of the night with that cough that you know is croup. You hear it and you just about die inside. John has had, this was the 5th time John has had croup, so we're pretty used to it. The first time he had croup, he was 2 and a half. He had a runny nose, and we left on vacation. We drove up to Maine, and by the time we got there, he was quite sick and had that croupy cough, which I had no idea. I had I didn't have croup growing up. My sisters didn't have croup. I didn't know anybody that had croup. The only thing that I knew about croup was it's in the Anne Green Gables books. Do you remember? Anne has to take care of Diana Barry's sister, and that's how she becomes, Diana Barry's mother forgives her for giving Diana the raspberry cordial and making her drunk. So, do you remember? That's the only thing I knew about croup. But anyways, John ended up, when he was 2.5, he ended up in the ER because he had croup with stridor. We took him to a clinic there in Maine. We were in a very small town and had to drive a little ways to the next town, which didn't have a hospital, it just had a clinic. And they wouldn't even see him at the clinic. They said, no, you need to take him right into the ER. And so we had to drive even further to get to the ER. So it was kind of scary. But anyways, so we've gotten quite good at dealing with croup, and we know how to deal with it. You know, you steam up the shower, the bathroom, and you put him in there, then you run him outside and do the cold air, and you do the humidifier in his room, and usually we can get it under control. And usually we have only 1 to 2 nights of croupiness, and he's better. But this time it got really bad really, really fast. And so by Wednesday night it had gotten to the place where he had croup with stridor again, and his tongue was kind of protruding a little bit, and he was drooling because he couldn't swallow, and we knew we needed to take him into the ER. So Wednesday midnight, he went into the ER and got some steroids, and then was better. And so far, at that point, it was only Wednesday, so we thought, okay, it's only half of fall break. We can get him better, then we can go do some fun things. And so far, my husband and I were not sick, and Arthur wasn't sick, so we thought, this is good. One person's sick, we're good. Well, we rested again on Thursday and Friday, and then we noticed Arthur was getting sick. So we started doing all the things, the humidifier and a little bit of ibuprofen, because ibuprofen reduces the swelling, but he started getting worse and worse and worse. And by Sunday morning, so we were up all night with him on Saturday night, every 2 hours, putting him in the steam shower and just trying to open up his airways again, but he had croup with stridor. And they take it more seriously with, well, they take it very seriously with kids who are under 2, and Arthur just turned 1, so it was pretty intense for him. He went into the ER, and he had to have breathing treatments and some steroids, oral and in the breathing treatments. But he got better too, slowly. On Monday morning, my pediatrician called me and said, I saw the notes from the ER doctor about Arthur, and I'd really like to see him today, which was good, because I was going to call her anyways and ask if she could see him, because he still was having a barky cough and struggling a bit. So he was put on 5 days of steroids, and now he's better. So that was our fall break. That was our entire fall break, dealing with croup. So my husband, at the end of it, he said he was excited to go back to work. And I don't blame him. That was pretty intense. So anyways, hopefully next time we have a break, it won't be that bad. But anyways, I haven't gotten very much done. But the one thing that I have gotten done is I released this new cowl pattern. This is the Lady Louise Infinity Cowl, and let me take it off so I can show you guys. It's a nice long 60-inch circumference cowl, and I like those because then you can wrap it around your neck twice. And here we go. It is nice and long, and it is knit in a tube. So you start. See if I can find my graft. Here we go. You start at the beginning, and you do a provisional cast on. And provisional cast on are wonderful because you can unzip them and then graft the ends together. So you start with a provisional cast on, and you do it on 16-inch circular needles. So you're no double points, just really fast and easy knitting. And you knit up in a tube. And what was so much fun was there's these plain sections that you just whiz right up, and then you're a little bored because you've been working in just plain stocking knit, and then you get to do some stripes. But then you're tired of doing stripes, so you get to do another stocking knit portion. And then, oh, you're bored of that, so you get to do another stripes. So it's kind of a fun pattern because it keeps you entertained as you go along. I loved it because it was one of those projects that you can take with you when you can't focus, when you need to focus on something else as well. So I would knit this on the back porch while I would watch the boys play because it was fairly mindless, and you can talk to people. It would be a great knit night project for when you want to talk to people as well as knit. So, or TV knitting too, a TV knitting project. Then once you get done with the long scarf, you graft them together. And then along that edge, and you know how when you do stripes in the round, there's that little jog, unless you want to be super fancy and do the little fancy thing that, so that your stripes don't jog. I don't do that. I'm not a, why? I mean, you can, if it's going to really, really show, but this is the neat thing. You pick up stitches along that edge to disguise it. It's wonderful. So you pick up the stitches along that edge, and then you do knitted on lace. And have you ever done knitted on lace? It's so much fun. You cast on, let's see, kind of the beginning again. Okay, you cast on stitches here, and then you work back and forth and attach it as you go. And you go all the way around the whole length of the cowl, and then you come back and you just graft them together. And because you're grafting in garter stitch, it's really easy. This would be a fun knit along to do all together, and we could do each step together, and we could also, I could do little videos to show you the little techniques as we went. That would be so much fun. But maybe after the holidays, huh? Oh. Anyways, it's a fun flirty cowl. I love it because you don't, I haven't seen a cowl with lace, and I just love lace. There's something about adding a touch of lace to things that just make it so feminine and delicate and fun. So anyways, this is the Lady Louise Infinity Cowl. I made mine out of 100% baby alpaca, so it is super, super soft. And I used, I was looking for a fingering weight baby alpaca, but then I realized that if I used a lace weight held double, it would be lighter and airier. So I used Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud. It's their 100% baby alpaca, and it's so soft, and they have some lovely, lovely colors in it. So anyways, this was a lot of fun. And I need to thank Brownie Knits, Gina of Brownie Knits. She tech edited it for me and also test knit it. So, and she made a beautiful one, which is, I think it's the oyster color and a lavender color, which looks really, really good for her skin tones and her hair. It's just really, really pretty. So I have right now in the Ravelry group a coupon code for all of you lovely knitters out there. If you go to the Knitter's Life Ravelry group, there's a thread, and there's a coupon code so that you guys can get the pattern for 50% off. So you can get it for $2.50, which is quite a deal. So it only lasts until, the coupon only lasts until October 29th. So if you're viewing this after then, I'm sorry. But anyways, I'll try to do that when I release patterns so that you all in the Ravelry groups can get something a little extra special, which is fun. So anyways, and then in correlation to that, I wanted to tell you about some new podcasts that I've been enjoying. The first one is the Brownie Knits. My friend Brownie Knits, she started a podcast, and it is so fun. She does such a good job. She does a better job than I do. She has her so nicely edited, and she does some fun things, and so you'll have to go check her out. She's Brownie Knits on Ravelry, and she's also Brownie Knits in YouTube. So you can go check out her podcast and say hi. And then I've been following Little Bobbins, the Little Bobbins podcast. She is so cute. Oh, it's so fun. And what's fun to find people that kind of do some of the similar things that you do. Little Bobbins does the journals, and although mine are different, I love journaling what I'm knitting about and knitting ideas, and so hers are specifically about her hand knits, but I kind of combined all of life in mine. This is my fall one. I think I showed you my fall one that I have done for fall, but anyway, so Little Bobbins, and you can find her on YouTube as well and on Ravelry as Little Bobbins. And the next one is A Wee Bit Nitty. Oh, she's so delightful. A Wee Bit Nitty, I hope I'm not going to get this wrong. She is in Norway, and her knitting is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. So you have to go check all three of those out. They are so delightful and so much fun. And maybe you already know about them, but I've been enjoying those. I feel like each one of those you could have over for a cup of tea, each one of those delightful ladies, and just get along with so well and have a grand chat about knitting, which would be so much fun, but we're so far away, except for Brownie Knits. And it would be so much fun to one day get Brownie Knits and I together, and we could do a podcast for you guys together, which would be fun. I think we would laugh the whole time, but we would have fun. So, because fall break was so crazy with sick kids, I didn't get very much done. Arthur, you pretty much had to hold him all the time, and so he was either just me holding him or in the snuggly. So I didn't have hands free to do very much. So, as you can see, my spinning wheel here in the corner, I haven't touched it. So I need to get some more spinning done. So I don't have any spinning to show you, but I did get a tiny bit of work done on my Hap Shawl, my cancel by Shetland Trader. And although that you can't really see very much because it's all jumbled up on the needles, I'm just about to add in the third color, which is a little darker brown. So I'm excited about that. That will be fun. And I got my other mitten done. So now I have two. And just as I thought, I didn't have enough yarn for the thumbs. This was hand spun, and it's super thick and warm hand spun. So I'm going to do the thumbs out of a contrasting yarn, and then I'm going to come back along here and do a little bit of a crocheted edging with that same contrasting yarn to kind of tie it all in. So I'll show you that later. This is the Waiting for Winter mitten pattern by Susan B. Anderson, and I did a little variation on her decrease at the top, but I have plans for more mittens because I'm going to knit lots of mittens so that I don't have to search through the boxes when I want to go out on a walk for winter, a winter walk. I hate trying to find mittens and you can't find them. So I'm going to make a yellow pair and then a pink pair. And this is hand spun. Mittens are a perfect thing to do with hand spun because usually you just need about 4 ounces or less, and either hats or mittens. It's such a great project to do with hand spun. And the other thing that I've been working on is a new design. So I can't show you the whole thing, but I can show you the color. It's all bunched up on the needles. Isn't it lovely? It's very, very, very fallish. Let's see, get this right. There we go. Isn't it lovely? Oh my goodness. this is going to be so much fun to share with you guys because there's a little bit of a story that goes along with this. So that's that. And then last but not least, what I was working on over fall break last week were some beads. And I think I showed you guys this one time. I have a pattern in my Ravelry shop about called Mama Beads. And it's for making this lovely beaded necklace. And you, you knit the, you increase and knit the little shape for the bead, and then you put one of these glass beads in. And these are the glass beads for flower arrangements. You can get a whole big bag of them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or any craft supply shop. There's a crochet hook. Very inexpensively. So, what the beads do is add a bit of weight to the necklace to make it feel more like a necklace. And I like doing it, but I wanted to come up with another way of doing it too that maybe would be a little faster. So I came up with a variation on that theme, and I think I'm going to add this idea to that pattern, so it will be like a double pattern. And these are, you can see they're garter sections for the bead. And you do up the beads first, but you don't put the beads in. Then you come back and you put the beads in and close them up. So it's going a little bit faster. And this, look at this, look at these colors. Let me wind it up. I used a Zauberball, or yeah, I don't know, the German Zauberball, is that right? I'm saying it wrong. You know. So it's going to be quite colorful, and of course autumnal. So I'm having fun with that. And when it's done, I think I might put a coupon code up in the Ravelry group for you guys to get that pattern free for a couple of days, and then I'll put it back in the Ravelry shop. But it would be fun for all of us to make some festive beads. So I'll let you know when I have that done, but I'm playing and toying around with that idea. So this is a really, really quick one, but that's what I've been up to and working on, taking care of sick kids and getting a little bit of knitting in. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful autumn, and if you had fall break, I hope your fall break was healthy and happy. And if you haven't yet joined the Ravelry group, come on over and tell us who you are and join the group, and share with us your ideas and what you're working on. I'd love to see what you guys are working on. So anyways, until that next time, happy knitting and say hi.